We remember what it was like to live in a society of secrets. We remember that you can't have true freedom and live your freedom without the right to know.
Glenda, it's been dark times for media of late. Tell us, what are the various threats to media freedom and where do they stem from?
Okay, the main issue at the moment is the secrecy bill, which is before Parliament. Then the second issue is the Media Appeals Tribunal, which was a resolution passed by the ANC in December 2007 at its policy conference. And then very recently, about 2 weeks ago, a government communications spokesperson, Jimmy Manyi, wants to withdraw all advertising from newspapers that are critical to it. Those are the three big things. And then there is a fourth, of course, coming from the media itself, lack of training, low professionalism, mistakes being made, the Press Council review.
I'm ashamed for the first time in my life to speak in front of my parliament.
What is happening here is that people who are not delivering what they should be delivering are trying to cover that up by bringing in a secrecy bill. It's as simple as that.
Let's start with the secrecy bill. What is the latest and what do the recent concessions mean for right to know?
The latest is that the ANC ad hoc committee in Parliament has made three big concessions. And these concessions are that they will withdraw the penalties on whistleblowers, and they've narrowed the focus down to just security organs of state that will classify information rather than all organs of state. And the big outstanding thing, in fact the biggest thing of all, that we still want concessions, or in fact to be scrapped altogether, is the public defence issue, because that affects journalists directly. If they don't add a public interest defence, in fact just about anything what we do in journalism and what people do in service delivery protests can be criminal.
What about the Media Appeals Tribunal by the ANC? Is this going to happen and what would the implications be?
The implications are extremely severe if there is a Media Appeals Tribunal, because basically what it means is that there's a higher court out there for the media. Anything that it does wrong, it'll be sanctioned, it could be punished through fines. We actually don't know what it means, because the ANC actually has no idea about how and what this whole tribunal will consist of. All we do know at the moment is that they're actually hell-bent on it. They really do want it.
And lastly, we have Jimmy Manyi's threats to withdraw critical advertising from the media. Can government do this, and would it be legal?
Yes, government can do this. It won't necessarily be legal. They've done it before. Esop Pahad, the minister in the presidency in 2007, after the story on the former health minister Manto Shabalala Msimang. The story went Manto drunk and a thief. They were very upset, the government, and they actually did withdraw advertising from the Sunday Times at the time, and the Sunday Times did suffer from that. Legally, according to the media lawyers such as Dario Milo, etc., they can't do it in terms of the Public Finance Management Act. It's government, this is public money. You and I pay money to the government, so they can't decide, okay, we just want to advertise in media that's friendly to us.
Glenda, your last thoughts. Is media freedom in South Africa under threat?
Yes, Varashni, absolutely. I'm very worried about the future for media freedom. However, what we have seen in the last week, when there's pressure, as we've seen with the right to know and with the secrecy bill, 50,000 people internationally signed that petition for Avaz, and with the right to know locally, 20,000 people signed a petition. On Friday, we were out there picketing outside the Safety and Security Ministry. We've had people in Parliament sitting there with masks and tapes over their mouths. So there's been enormous pressure, and people have got to know about this, and people are asking questions. When this happens, it seems like there is some backing down. So, one should never just roll over as the media and just feel that, oh, well, the ANC is so powerful, they can do whatever they like. In fact, we should always be fighting for these freedoms. We should always be vigilant about what's happening. So, yes, while media freedom is under threat, I also do feel a bit optimistic that when these things do happen and when our space is being intruded upon, we do tend to push back and we do tend to fight, and then something does happen.